Hey there, and welcome back to Not Your Dad's Business. I'm your host, CaiLea Martin. Look, if you've been hanging around with me for the last few episodes, you already know the drill. You know that I don't have a wall of fancy degrees, but I do have a track record of building successful local operations from the ground up. You already know that we don't do the corporate shtick or high-level jargon here. We stick strictly to the tactical, real-world reality of running a small-town business with a team of maybe one or two people. And most importantly, you know that our entire focus is on mastering three simple pillars: online presence, local presence, and automation. And today we are diving deep into the first pillar, online presence. We are talking about something that serves as the foundation for your entire digital brand, but is surprisingly neglected by so many local business owners: having a proper website. We're going to break down the cold reality of what happens when you don't have one, how to scale your site to match exactly where your business is at right now, and how to use hidden, no-budget tricks to dominate your surrounding local communities. So let's roll up our sleeves and get into it. Think about how you look for a service provider or a shop when you're traveling or looking for something outside of your usual routine. You pull up your phone, open up a browser, and search. If a business doesn't pop up with a clean, clear place to find their info, they simply do not exist to you. The exact same thing is happening right now in your market. If you don't have a proper website, you are completely invisible to anyone living outside of your immediate social circle or your current customer base. Relying purely on word of mouth or basic social media page is fine for keeping the lights on temporarily, but it caps your growth. When a new resident moves into town or someone from two communities over needs exactly what you sell, they aren't asking your neighbor for a recommendation. They're looking online. If your competitors have a home on the web and you are relying on a Facebook page that hasn't been updated in over 3 months, you lose that customer before you ever even knew they were looking for you. A website is your digital storefront. It's open 24/7, and it guarantees that when someone is actively looking to spend money, they can actually find you. Now, I know exactly what you might be thinking. CaiLea, I don't have thousands of dollars or 3 weeks of free time to build a massive complex website. And the beautiful truth is, you don't need to. If you are brand new, just getting your feet wet, or working with zero budget, an elaborate multi-page site is actually a waste of your time. All you need to start is a simple, clean landing page. Just one page that clearly states who you are, what you do, the area you serve, and exactly how to contact you. That's it. It's about planting your flag in the digital dirt so that Google knows that you exist. However, if you are an established business and you've been running things for a while, it's time to graduate from the basic landing page and use your website to solve your bandwidth bottleneck. You need to make it as easy as humanly possible for people to buy from you or book you. That means integrating features like direct online booking, instant quote calculators, or interactive scheduling. Think about the modern customer. People are busy, and honestly, a lot of them don't want to pick up a phone and have a conversation just to find out how much a basic service costs. The more an incoming lead can do directly on your website without ever having to wait for you to call them back, the more likely they're going to choose you over a competitor. If a customer can book a job with you at 9 p.m. while sitting on their couch, you win the business while your competitor is still waiting to check their voicemail the next morning. When we bought our inflatable bounce house business, we turned around and doubled the revenue for the business before the end of our first full season with it. And one of the biggest things that I contribute to that is the fact that when we got the website from the previous owner, they didn't have any prices. They didn't have a clear navigation. They also didn't have any online booking either. And with inflatable bounce houses, we are serving people who are insanely busy and don't always have the time to call. So by switching to a platform that allows people to make bookings at 11 p.m., which, by the way, you'd be surprised how many people actually make their bookings really late at night, because that's when they're laying in bed and they're going through their mental checklist, thinking about all the things they have to do. And if you make your website super easy so that they can just go on and check that one thing off, then it's not going to be something that continues to get put off. Also with pricing, I know that there's a lot of people who are scared to put their pricing out because they don't want to immediately scare away customers, or they don't want their competitors to see their pricing. And the thing is that if you get into a pricing war with your competitors on trying to be the lowest, all you're doing is racing to the bottom. Like you can't keep lowering your services because your competitors are cheaper. That's not a tactic you need to take. So don't worry if your competitors are looking at your prices. And also don't worry if putting your prices on your website are going to scare away your customers. Because the thing is that those who can't afford those prices anyways, they're going to be the ones who call and check and make sure before they book your services. So, in a way, having your prices online just filters out the people who aren't right for you. And that's not losing business, that is saving time. And outside of automating things like bookings and quotes, there are so many creative things that you can do to massively expand your reach for little to no extra money, especially if you possess the drive to learn it yourself. Another thing that we did with our inflatable bounce house business is that we created individual landing pages for all of the surrounding towns. We live in the Midwest. Towns are typically about 20 miles apart from each other. And so we want to make sure that we were breaking into other communities. So what I did is I set up landing pages specifically for all of the surrounding towns that said inflatable bounce houses in Rochester, Minnesota, or inflatable bounce houses in Des Moines, Iowa. And then I also did all of the smaller towns. That way, when somebody was searching for bounce houses near me and their location was turned on for a place like Ames, Iowa, or somewhere like that, they would find our landing page because our landing page had all of those rich keywords in it to pop up in their search. And that way, Google wouldn't have to just guess where we delivered. It actually knew that we would service that area. And the results from this were absolutely incredible. It did absolute wonders for our search engine optimization, naturally, SEO. And it caused our business to skyrocket to the top of Google rankings incredibly fast. Within months, we were ranked #1 all throughout the area that we actually serve. And not only did it validate our standing in those neighboring communities, but it completely cleared up the #1 question we always got hit with, which is, do you guys deliver to my town? They didn't have to guess because they landed on a page that specifically told them we service their area. So once you have your website established, you can layer on tools like a local blog to capture search traffic and answers people are actively typing into Google. I also recommend having a frequently asked questions portion on your website as well, especially with this day and age with AI. A lot of people are using AI to just ask questions. And if you can have those commonly asked questions linked to your page, when people type them in, that's what's going to get linked in those search engines. And we are going to dive deep into the mechanics of this in later episodes because honestly, I could talk for weeks on all the different ways that you can optimize a website to print money for your business without having to spend millions of dollars. And look, I want to be entirely transparent with you too. I do not have a single class, certification, or college degree in web development. I am entirely self-taught, and I learned everything by just rolling up my sleeves and reading other people's blogs and watching countless hours on YouTube videos. And if I can figure this out from scratch, you absolutely can also learn how to do it yourself. I would recommend the do-it-yourself route for the micro business owners or the people who have their businesses as side gigs. But I also know that if this is your main gig, the reality of your daily schedule is chaotic. And if you realize that you simply just do not have the time or even the inclination to learn the tech side of things right now, don't worry, I've got your back. I offer affordable website design services built specifically for small town business needs. And you can check those out right on my site, NotYourDadsBusiness.com. To get the ball rolling on your online presence without adding a mountain of stress to your plate, though, here are 3 things that you can execute today to audit and improve your digital footprint. Step 1 would be to perform the incognito test. To do this, open a private or incognito browser window on your phone or computer. Type in your industry followed by your town's name, and also try searching for your industry followed by the next town over as well. Look at the results honestly. If your business doesn't show up on that first page, or if the link goes to a broken page, write down exactly where that gap is. Step 2 would be to map your service community. So grab a piece of paper and write down the names of the top 5 surrounding towns where your ideal customers live and where you are willing to travel for work. And this is going to be your target hit list for future local expansion pages. And then step 3 would be to fix your primary contact friction. Look at your current website or landing page. Is your phone number, email, or booking form visible within 3 seconds of the page loading? If a customer has to scroll or click around to figure out how to give you money, move that contact button or form directly to the very top of your homepage today. And if you're looking for a quick and easy way to add quoting or booking to your website, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to Jobber because that is what we personally use to run our Light It Up business. And one feature I really like is their quote request form because you can add it straight to your website so leads can come in without the back and forth. They also handle quoting, scheduling, invoicing, client communication, and online payments. So it keeps a lot of the moving pieces in one place. And if you want to check them out, I do have a link that will save you some money. And full transparency, I get a little something too. It's a great way to support the show. And I only recommend it because we actually use it and it's been genuinely helpful for our business and is very cost effective compared to some of the competitors out there. So, taking small, intentional steps with your website might feel trivial day to day, but over time, it builds an unshakable digital asset that secures your business's future in your community. If you got some real value out of today's conversation, please take a brief second to follow and subscribe to the podcast on whichever platform you're listening right now. Hitting that subscribe button and leaving a rating is the biggest way that you can help support the show, and it ensures that I can keep creating all of this actionable, garbage-free strategy completely free of charge. If you want a crystal clear look at exactly how your business is currently showing up online, head over to notyourdadsbusiness.com. I offer a completely free local search mini audit where we check out your digital footprint and show you exactly where you are winning and where you are losing out to local competitors. While you are grabbing your audit, make sure you sign up for our weekly newsletter. Every single week, I take the exact topics we covered in the podcast and break them down into highly detailed step-by-step checklists so that you can implement these exact strategies smoothly and without burning out. Stop letting your business stay invisible to the people who want to buy from you. Take action on your digital storefront today, and I will see you right back here next week where we will build something even better together because this is not your dad's business.